Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chord Dave, and this, conveniently enough, is Chord Dave Live. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. It is Saturday. This is a pint of Guinness. Sláinte. Oh yes, nice. Anyways, as you can tell, I have a new friend. I was putting my Guinness here. I'm going to move it slightly away from the important person item in in the picture. It's my Epiphone ES345, a guitar that officially does not exist according to Epiphone, but it's a 2024 inspired by Gibson model. So much to talk about, and we'll go into it over the next 90 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about all kinds of things. I suppose you want to talk about those new PRSs with their dynamic whatever pickups, deep dish pickups. Is that what they're calling them? Deep something. So we'll talk about them. I kind of haven't looked into them deeply, but if I was going to buy a Strat, I'd buy a PRS Strat. So yeah, definitely interested in those. But let's dig into the chat, see how we get on, and we'll talk about all kinds of things as we go. Also, trying out a new lighting situation. So if I look a little bit weird, it's the fault of the lighting situation. So yeah, I have to up my game because Steve Cassidy and folks like him are doing kick-ass, making me look like an amateur, which I am. So anyways, let's try and get into it, and we'll see what we can do. Scott Bogfoot says cheers all course in the chat before everyone. I don't know how he does it every time. I try to fake him out. I try to wait until a little bit later than normal. He's still always there. Anyways, he says, I'm sheeting my house with plywood, so I'll be in and out for a bot. All right, well, best of luck with that, Scott. Hope it goes well, and thanks for joining us and letting us know. Cushman NYC is here nice and early. Good to see you, Cushman. Hope all's good. Richard Clark says, small world, Scott. I did laundry, and now I'm going to sheet the bed. We love you, Richard. We love you. Even if you're sheeting the bed right now, just know we love you. Formerly known as T says, when I read that, I first thought you were going to do an Amber Heard on the bed. And we can't, I think legally I can't comment about that on YouTube. But yeah, what a shitty circumstance to find yourself in. Anyways, who else we got? T says, hey, Chord Dave, and hello to all in chat. Great to see you, T. Hope all is good with you on your side of the country, man. It didn't feel hot today. It's hot in here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the lights. Anyways, Rob F is here. Great to see you. Rob says, out with the family. We'll watch tomorrow morning. Hope everyone has a good week. Well, Rob, if you're watching tomorrow, I hope you have a great day. I hope you had a great day on Saturday. Great night. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Cool stuff. Al is here. Says, greetings, fellow TCD fans. Nice, Al. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope all's going well with you. And you are rocking it. I'm sure you are. Scott says, oh yeah, I suppose I should do the housekeeping stuff, shouldn't I? Hey, where's all that? There's not a whole lot of, what do you call it? Chats. Where is everyone tonight? Oh well. Anyone new here, welcome. You'll need to subscribe and wait for a minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube, says Scott Bogfoot. Indeed, Scott. Thanks so much for letting us know. That's important. You got to be subscribed so you can comment and talk to us in the chat. 2 sheets of plywood to go. Good stuff, Scott. Well done. James Severan's here. Hey, Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Great to see you, James. Hope you are well, my friend. Let me see. Scott Bogfoot and James. We've got Michael Watson says, good evening, Dave. Caught your podcast with Upstairs to Write Music this week. Good stuff. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I had a good time talking with Mike. He's a good dude. We had a good time. He's working on some interesting stuff, so definitely check out his channel. Second time, actually, I don't know if I think I mentioned this last week. The second time we sat down to have a bit of a chat, because we did it a good few weeks ago in March, around about towards the end of March, and we did a video together, and you know, my mind wasn't exactly in where it should have been in March, and I forgot to record things properly on my side, so Mike was very good to step in and do a second one with me, which was good, and I enjoyed that chat with him last week. So thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Wayne McConnell says, hi peeps, great to see you, Wayne. Hope all is good with you. And T says, it's beer time. Awesome. Let me see. I just want to see if yeah, there's not a whole lot of chat. Maybe we'll only get an hour out of tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, I can tell you a bit about this, and I can tell you my thoughts on the PRS new release and a couple other things I saw this week. But let me know what you want to talk about in the comment sections there. Todd Moore says, hey everyone, great to see you, Todd. Hope you're well, man. And thanks so much for joining us. Corey is here. Great to see you, Corey. He says, hey gang, hope everyone has a great week. Don't forget to hit all the buttons for Dave. All of them, indeed. Some of them more than others, but yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Hope you're well, Corey. And nice little video of your guitar room today that I saw on Facebook. Good stuff, man. Looks envious. Is that the right word? Enviable, perhaps? But definitely looks very cool, sir. Well done. Grandpa Joe says, hello, Dave, and everyone. I do hope all are doing well. I'm fighting the C word at the moment. The other C word, not the bad C word, the other C word, the YouTube one that I can't say. So we in the background, as usual, enjoy the show today. Thanks, Grandpa Joe. Hope you're well, man. Hope you get better, I should say, because you're clearly not well, but hope you get better soon, sir. Yeah, that is a lot of people I work with been going down with that one last week or a couple of weeks. So it's back in full force. Lockdown starts next week. Shouldn't have said the L word either, should I? No, I don't think we'll be doing that again. DMAC is here. Great to see you, DMAC. Hope all's good with you, my friend. And always great to have you in the chat. Formerly known as T, says Slash it. So there you go. Andrew Collins says, do you like the new PRS NF3 guitar? I do. I like it a lot. I think I'm correct in saying their first thing they did with it was the what I mean is the first thing we saw this week was the SE version, and I think that's very cool that they've come out with the SE version. And you've got those narrow field pickups that they're using. They've brought out both rosewood versions and maple fretboard versions, which is cool because sometimes they bring out one and then will make you wait for the other. I think if you're a Strat fan, this is a very cool instrument. So, or maybe a Silver Sky fan. Let's just say a Silver Sky, just for because it's PRS. I like it a lot. I think look. You're not innovating an awful lot when you're putting out a Strat style instrument, but it's kind of cool. I definitely need to spend more time looking into it, and maybe spend a little time with one in hand to kind of give a proper. Because I haven't even played a Silver Sky, so I don't know compared to a Strat how it's going to feel or anything. But I like what they're doing. I like the colors. They're ice blue. We all knew that was going to be my favorite, right? So yeah, very cool guitars indeed. A nice move from PRS to put out their SE version instead of just going out with like a really expensive version, which they could have done. I'm sure they would have sold lots of them, like the Miles Kennedy Telecaster style thing that they put out not so long ago. How long ago was that? Like, it's just only a few weeks ago. No, a few months ago. What time is it? Yeah, anyway. Not long ago, so there we go. Todd says, I'm kind of busy, but I'll be listening in on the chat. Good stuff, Todd. Take care, man. We'll be here if you get less busy, so it's all good. T says, beautiful guitar, man. Congrats, Dave. Thank you, T. Yes, it's got some niceties to it. The finish is fantastic. I'll talk about it in a bit. I think we're going to run out of comments very soon. So I'll just dive into talking about this thing and then stall quite a lot. See what happens. So if you want to give me comments to stall on, throw them in there. No worries. What else have we got? Sweet guitars. Yeah, Cushman, absolutely. And Benny Larson is here. Great to see you. Benny says, evening guys, I'm a bit under the weather, so might not be the most active in chat. That sucks, Benny, but hey, get well soon, my friend. Thanks for dropping into us anyway, even though you're not feeling the best. That's cool of you. And hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit. Al says the NF3 interests me. Very cool, Al. I'm sure they're awesome. I'm a big fan of PRS guitars. You guys know that. I think they make some excellent stuff. And having only owned one in the past, I really loved it. It's one that it's probably the guitar I regret selling the most. I had some great ideas and then that went, and then The idea is kind of just it didn't happen. So I'm a bit disappointed I saw that one, but hey, what can you do? TSB says, "Stop sucking your spit through your teeth. It's truly a disgusting sound." Um, all right, TSB, I'm sure it is a disgusting sound. I don't suck my spit through my teeth, but appreciate you looking out for me, man. Thank you. And I'm sure there are other guitar channels that don't suck spit through their teeth. So thanks so much for pointing that out. But I genuinely am not doing that. So I do have to swallow from time to time because just as a human being, saliva builds up when I'm talking. That just happens. So apologies if that's offensive to you. But hey, it's all good. Hope you stick around. We have formerly known as T says, I got that Epiphone SG. I think I'm going to have to get myself one. Well impressed. And the new X, I just learned that it's new X, not Nux. 8BT Mark II. Wicked little amp. Those things are cool, man. I like them a lot. And yeah, I don't know if I'd pick one up because I don't have a need for it, but I think they're pretty cool little things. It's not a thumbs up. I don't know why that happens. Anyways, yeah, the Epiphone SGs are cool, man. Did you get the special? Is that what you got? Because that's the one I'm always recommending, and it's very, very cool. Indeed. Let me see. I saw somebody say something that I think I missed. DMAX, I've been into the red ES guitars lately. That one looks cool. Thanks, DMAC. Yeah, seeing as there's not a whole lot of comments in the chat, which is odd. We usually have a lot more folks and a lot more of a chat going at this time. So let me divulge more information about this guitar. So it's an Epiphone inspired by Gibson ES345, which was built in China in January of 2024. This is the details I'm going to with you guys. Got the split parallelogram inlays. It's got a crown inlay on the headstock, Kalamazoo headstock, of course, mother of pearl inlays, Indian laurel fretboard, because that's what Epiphone do. Gold hardware in terms of the pickup covers, the bridge and the tailpiece, and then even the this thing, the toggle switch surround is gold as well, and so are the tuners. Yeah, it's in the heritage cherry finish, and it looks phenomenal. And in certain lights, I mean, this looks well to me in this lighting. Maybe you can let me know how it looks. I mean, I'm sure it looks great because it's a beautiful guitar, but it just has that old school 335 look to it. It's very the 335, 345 look. It was listed by Thomann just randomly one day in, I think, February or March, and it went to, there was no pictures, and it was there for a couple of weeks, and I said, feck it, I'm going to order it, because whole story, like my dad passed in March, and I wanted to do something to kind of commemorate or memorialize him or something. Just, I don't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to get something that would kind of be like that. It's dedicated to my dad, and I name all my guitars, so why not name one after my dad? And yeah, this seemed like the perfect thing because I'm a big Back to the Future fan, because my dad brought me to the cinema to see Back to the Future when I was a kid, and he enjoyed playing guitar also. So this was the one I went for. But one of the things that attracted me to it was basically Back to the Future Marty McFly specs, or Marvin Berry specs if you want. On the spec sheet on Thomann, it said it had a Bigsby, and it had what do you call them down here, the stereo and mono outputs as well. It doesn't have stereo outputs. It does have the Veritone as well, the six positions. Yeah, six positions. And the Bigsby, as you can see, is not there. It's a regular tunematic bridge and stop tail. So in terms of that, I've been at the tone be like, it's not what you told me it was, and they tell me that they're going to have their experts look into it. So that's interesting. We'll see what their experts will say on Monday. But oh, sorry, binding as well. It's kind of like the cream, like aged look binding, both on the body of the guitar, front and back, and on the fretboard as well, on the neck, I should say, which is very nice. It's a beautiful guitar, $7.99. I think it's a fitting tribute to my dad, and it's just beautiful. I love it. Haven't taken the plastics off yet, so if you're seeing a couple of things on the pickups or the pick guard, it's the plastics are still on it, because I'm not sure what Thomann are going to say. They might be like, send it back, we'll get you one with all the things we said. I think it's unlikely. I think they're probably going to offer me a partial refund, which we'll see how that goes. The Veritone, I wanted something I've never really experimented with, so I don't know a whole lot about them. But what I will say is my favorite Veritone explanation is position one sounds like a 335, position two sounds like BB King, and all the rest sound like shit. That's a Mark Agnesi joke, which I'm stealing and using for myself. So that's the guitar. I've waited 3 months, and pretty much every 2 weeks they kept telling me 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks, and setting dates that came and went, and the guitar never shipped. And then it shipped last Saturday with no notice whatsoever. So yeah, it's only arrived yesterday, so it took the best part of a week, which I find ridiculous because some of you guys who are in the States have ordered from Harley Benton or Thoman and had the guitar 3 days later. So it's kind of annoying. Anyways, I'm self-conscious about swallowing now, so apologies TSB, which is also used to be the name of a bank in Ireland, Trustee Savings Bank. They went out of business because they weren't very trusty, but there you go. Um, where are we now? That's enough about that. If you have any questions or you want to make any comments, feel free. Muddy still believes it's not the guitar I ordered, and he's giving me shit about it still. But we love him too. Al says, I like the fact that PRS is offering either maple or rosewood necks on all colors. The narrowfield pickup sounds interesting. Not a single coil sound, not a humbucker. Yeah, it's a good point, Al. I mentioned it as well. Yeah, the maple and rosewood necks. It's good that they've brought both of them out at the same time and not brought one out and then next year bring out the other. So like brought out the rosewood necks and then next year bring out the maple. It's kind of what they did with Silver Sky, right? It was like 2 years later, maybe more. They brought out the other one with the maple necks. So I like seeing that. The pickups, I haven't spent too much time watching their stuff. I watched one quick video on it the other day, and there's a lot going on right now. But I did manage to catch a video. They sound interesting, and I think it was Paul Reed Smith himself who was going through the sounds, and I thought it sounded very, very interesting. I mean, are people into that? Are people looking for um, the single coil sound in a humbucker? Which is, I mean, I get it in some ways, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it's received overall throughout the whole guitar community, throughout the Strat playing community. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. I think it's very interesting. It's nice. They've done something a little bit different. So we'll see how well it's received. Of course, not the debut of these pickups. They've been in that telly, as I said, or telly type, shall we say, and they've been received pretty well. So not as well as I think they expected, but I think that's because the shape is a little bit weird. Um, what else have we got here? D-Max says, I played the Saturn Gibson ES335. That was really cool. Hard to justify the Gibson price, though, with the Epis out there now. I'll go into that in just a second. D-Mac, thank you so much for that comment. Muddy H2O with a lovely super chat because he's a very kind and generous person. Notice I'm saying that before I read his lovely comment. He says, you want a discount for no Bigsby? They should have charged you more for not having the Bigsby. Oh, and yes, I'm still right. The guitar you thought you ordered still doesn't exist. I win. If that's what you need to convince yourself you win, sir, you can win. I don't mind. You can win the is Dave's guitar that has been delivered real or not real guitar. You can win that. It's fine. You can just buy a Bigsby pedal, one of those Game Changer audio pedals. It's fine. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. I know. What did D-Max say? You go back to that. Play the Saturn. Yeah, hard to justify the price with the Epis out there now. And that's a really good point. And I want to say this. I've had this since yesterday. I've played it a little bit, maybe a couple of hours, because I'm very busy. But I played about a couple of hours between yesterday and today. And I think this is one of the most solid Epiphone guitars I've ever played. Straight out of the box. It is phenomenal. There's not a whole lot I would change about it. Very little. It just feels like a really great guitar. It looks great. There's no issues with it that I can find. Somebody smarter than I might find an issue with it, but I can't find one. Yeah, by the way, there will be a video about this at some point next week when I get time. Probably film it Tuesday. Patreon and YouTube members will see it Tuesday, and then Wednesday for everyone else. But I honestly think this is This if this is a symbol of the quality that Epiphone are pumping out in 2024 in their inspired by Gibson range, not their inspired by Gibson custom, just inspired by Gibson range. Phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. A little bit more expensive than their regular 335 range, you know the ones. So I think it's worth that. It might be worth that little bit extra because it's a flipping brilliant guitar. But anyways, we'll see. You'll see it in a video early next week at some point. But yeah, I get you, DMAC. Like the prices for Gibson ES guitars, I mean, they're up there. You know, I mean, they're one of the more expensive ranges, more expensive than what you call them, Les Pauls and SGs, of course. So they're up there. And the Epiphone, according to this guitar, the Epiphones are great. So there we go. William Forrest says, hi all. Good to see you, William. Hope you're well, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us each week. It does mean an awful lot. D-Max says, but I still try to justify. I mean, yeah, listen, if there was an unlimited pot of money, it'd be nice to have like I don't know, a 1968, 69. Why not? I don't know why it's doing those thumbs up all the time. Does it think my head is a thumb? I think it might do. Uh, the NF3 was a core model 10 to 15 years ago. You're right, Al. The new ones is essentially what I'm talking about. They have altered it a little bit for these ones, but yeah, there was a. I know that for a fact because only because the channel Ministry of Guitar had a video about it the day that they launched, and he had one in his hand. I was like, what the hell? How did he get one so early? So there you go. But a very interesting thing that they've done. And I'm sure we'll find out more about them. Honestly, from the top of my head, I don't know an awful lot about them just yet, but I will be finding out more, I'm sure, in the next while. Formerly known as T says, I forgot to ask you, who do you fancy in the Euros? Well, T, if we're talking Euros, having watched all of the teams, they're all terrible. But I'm gonna stick with my prediction of Holland as a sneaky dark horse. So there you go. That's who I think's gonna win, and I think they're gonna beat Scotland in the final. We'll see how that goes. Al says the Ministry of Guitar called the Core NF3 PRS best. That's a great channel, man. That's a great. I haven't seen many other people talk about it as well as he did. So yeah, good stuff. I enjoy his videos. I think he's very good. Made some very interesting comments about in guitars as investments recently as well, which I thought was very cool. Richard Clark says, I like the way the near fields sound on the Tremonti, but I would really have to play one before pulling the trigger on any PRS. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I like PRSs, everyone I've had, and I've only had maybe three down the years, but they've all been fantastic. Anyways, let me see. Where is D-Max says, I want to try that bare bones PRS out there. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool indeed. Yeah, Alice saying gestures, yeah, for the thumbs up. I know, but I'm not making any gestures. I'm being still, so I don't know why it's doing that. But I'm gonna have to turn them off, I suppose. I've seen them a lot of people just doing them, and it's a pain that it does it. But I always forget when I'm not live streaming. Anyways, it's all good. We'll probably put no one off. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Richard Cox says, sorry, I mean on the Miles Kennedy type PRS instead of the Tremonti. Yeah, you're good, man. I mean, they're the same band, so that's all. It's all sweet. Muddy H. Joe says, plastic still on the pickguard. When are you sending it back? As soon as you buy that purple Flying V, you said twice you were going to buy, but then didn't because you're a liar. There you go. It's. I mean, look, as I've said, Muddy's trying to give me shit about it. Just this is his thing. It's what makes him erotically charged. But I've left the plastics on the pickups and the pickguard because I don't know what they're going to say to me Monday. They might be like, we sent you the wrong one and send it back. I don't think so, but it's missing two pretty big advertised features. So we'll see what they say. I don't expect to send it back. So there you go. It's my guitar. I'll handle it how I choose, sir. Anyways, enjoy yourself. I know you're probably excited right now. T says it was a 61 inspired by Gibson range Alnico pickups. Oh, those are cool, man. Yeah, they're very cool guitars. I like them a lot. Um, yeah, definitely a very cool guitar. Al says, "Are we going to hear a sound sample with that Red Beauty?" Yeah, you will. I mean, I'm gonna make a video with it, make some sounds with it. We may as well because um, we will see how it goes. Muddy says, "By the way, this new YouTube, where's it gone? Oh, I've got a few comments there. Awesome. By the way, this new YouTube format blows balls. What is it? I haven't seen. What are you talking about? I don't know. I honestly don't know what new format. Are you taking the mic or I don't know. I know what it's doing, but if it's not a me thing, I apologize. YouTube is kind of shitty. Trusty Savings Bank says I found worms in my stool last night. You probably want to adjust your diet, sir. Richard Clark says, "You mean the watch page format, Muddy? They asked me if I wanted to try it and told them they could keep it. I have not seen that, so yeah, let them keep it. I don't know, honestly, don't know what they're doing. Sounds like it's another stupid thing from YouTube. Well done, YouTube. Slaunch it." And Muddy says, "I said no, but they forced it on me. Now you know how the rest of us feel, sir." Uh, Scott is back. Great to see you, Scott. I hope the thing you were doing, the plywood thing, went well. Let me see, what else have we got? I got something urgently sent to me. Oh, Muddy sent me the. Oh, what is this? This is the watch page. Can't see you many viewers. There's no thumbs up. It's a cluster flip. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. That is pretty terrible. But the guitar looks nice, so we'll just leave it at that. It's all good. Anyways, yeah, that's awful. New watch page. Do not force that on people, YouTube. It's awful. Anyways. DMAX says, "Any thoughts on what you may get amp wise, Dave?" Not yet, my friend. Honestly, when I go down the amp road, I will come to you guys and be like, "What should I get?" So I don't know if I told you guys, I have to move out of this house within 3 months now. Because my landlord has decided to sell it. So I have to move. The rental housing market in Ireland is pretty awful, and I can't go out and buy a house right now because the housing prices where I live are just ridiculous, and I don't want to. I don't want to pay 400,000 for a shitty house, and I don't mean just any house. I mean literally a shitty house. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of like just waiting for something to come back, and when you do go for a rental place that's half decent and looks okay and is not astronomical rent, there's also 4,000 other people going for it. So I'm hoping to have somewhere soon, hopefully with a little bit more of a rural feel, so I can get something decent amp wise, and then we'll see. We'll play around with it. What you guys say? I'm thinking I might want to try something Vox, but I'm open to your guys' suggestions. It'll be a Chord Dave live poll probably at some point. What amp should I get? And if you guys want to send me thoughts, my email is at the bottom of the description of every email. Now that says, "I love the guitar." Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a sweet one. Wait till you guys see it in the video. I think you're going to be impressed by it. The weird thing is, so it's on. There's been some discussions across the web about this guitar because on the gear page, and Muddy pointed this out to me at one point, there was people talking about whether this listing from Tomaner was real or not, and I just took a punt that it was. It did say at the time 2 to 5 days, but that turned out to be 3 months. Pretty much exactly 3 months. But the chat was, "Is it real? I don't know. Nobody knows anything about it." People who have reach or know people or were able to ask people questions were like coming back with, "Nobody knows anything about this guitar. Nobody's able to give us any information about it. Nobody has heard of them reissuing a 345." And then yesterday when I put up, it's finally arrived. Like I told people on that forum that I'd ordered it and I was waiting for it, and a few updates on the dates. And they a couple of comments were like, I'm so surprised they reissued this and didn't tell anyone because it'd be a popular guitar. A lot of people love Back to the Future, so they'd want to make their Back to the Future dreams come true. But I don't know. Tomon appear to have only gotten one in stock. Um, they haven't relisted it after my one sold, and they said they were only getting one when I asked them a couple of times. So yeah, I feel like that's an issue as well. And also, there's a very strong possibility that this is a model that's not supposed to be shipped or not supposed to be out there in the world until much later in the year. So we will see if they actually do a release for it. It's not on Epiphone's website. There's no other information about it, but it's pretty. So I'm going to make a video about it. And just more reason for Cesar and company to dislike my videos. Anyways, formerly known as T says the SG arrived the other day. I was T, yeah, this is T. The SG arrived the other day. I was at work when I got the email. Your parcel has arrived. 2 guitar boxes left outside the door. It's the best thing about working from home, man. Because yeah, they would do that all the time. I've told you guys about when I got my SG. I bought the Marshall Code amp as well at the same time, and the delivery driver, left it outside in the rain in the middle of the driveway for anybody driving past to see. Not like near the house, near to the door, smack bang in the middle of the driveway in the rain. It was a good job I was home. And I was home because I work from home. So if you work from home, your guitar deliveries may be safe. So there you go. Scott says, wow, I had some bad sunburn on my neck. Damn sun in Newfoundland. Sorry, Scott, if you're anything like this Irish person, sunburns is the third worst thing in the world. Third worst thing in the world, for me, I would say, because my Irish skin, is different. It doesn't suntan, it burns. Uh, yeah, which is weird because I really want to live in a sunny country because I'm sick of winters. So there we go. Maybe this is because I'm getting older. We'll see. Matt Van Bosch says, Dave, if you don't plug and play that sweet 345 right now, I'm unsubscribing. Matt, I'm going to take that risk that you won't unsubscribe and you'll come back early next week to find out what the guitar sounds and plays like and feels like. I'll give you a taster of opinion in that it plays fantastic. Like it's probably playing better than any of the other guitars in my collection right now, and that's straight out of the box. Haven't touched it in terms of adjusting anything. Plays great. It was weird. The only thing I did was tune it to a half step down, and that's it. And everything is playing great. Although I've never used the Veritone, and I'm not really sure it's something I like. But yeah, well, I'll play with that and see if I can figure out what I want to do with it. But thanks, Matt. Please stick around. I love you, man. So please stick around. Al says, Scott, you have sun in Newfoundland? Still have snow. I think they're in their week of sunshine up there, maybe. Good call, Al. Advo, great to see you. Advo, hope all's good. Says, is guitar collecting a fetish? For some people, I guess. Yeah, maybe. It's not it's not a harmless fetish because it affects all waking hours. Uh, like some people get very excited about it, so maybe we could say that. Yeah, for sure. I think we all just get excited when the new ones arrive, and then we kind of calm down. A couple of months time, something else is going to light that fire. It's a great question, actually. It is a great question, um, which we could talk a lot more about. Let's see what else we got. Nella says, looks like Bigsby might interfere with the chicken head knob. Um, well, it's a good point, Nella. I don't know. It might be, yeah, maybe the positioning is not, I don't know. But the famous one from the movies uh has one, so get it on there somehow. Uh, I do have a sticker for the 12th fret as well, because if any of you smartasses are going to be like, but the 12th fret, what's the 12th fret looks like? Don't worry, it'll look like on the video you see it. Currently, it's just a standard parallelogram, but we'll be changing that possibly. Um, Although I did receive one sticker and I don't like it, so I'm not going to put it on. But there's others. Um, Richard said chicken head knob. Yes, giggity, all that sort of stuff. um, Good stuff, man. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, chicken head knob, very interesting. Very. I'm not sure I'm in love with the baritone. In fact, I can tell you right now, I'm not at the minute. We'll see how it goes, though. If I find the sweet spot with it. Ad blockers violate YouTube's terms of service, says my knees hurt. Well, first of all, it's great to see you, my knees hurt. I hope you're well, man. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, YouTube is a kind of a pain in the ass. But I asked you guys if you want us to do live streaming on a different platform. You were like, no. So, I mean, all the other people do it on OnlyFans, I believe. So we could have done our Saturday night OnlyFans live streams. Um, Clothing optional for you guys. Uh, but anyways, I know there's gonna be comments now about clothing anyway. TSB says, "Where is the cheese D music in the background?" Only people with big D's can hear it, so I'm not sure if you're not hearing it there, but it should be there. No, it's actually not there. What happened was I updated the thing and the music disappeared, and I just never put it back. Also, somebody gave out about it in a couple of streams, was like they couldn't hear me because the music was too loud, and it was literally on 1 out of 100. So I couldn't make it any lower. So I think that's actually why I got rid of it. But I can put it back in if you miss it, but it doesn't appear from your comment that you do miss it. But thanks for the comment. I'll take it under consideration the next time I'm thinking about music. Um, Let me see, where else do we know? I saw somebody say something about Wales, which I think is interesting. William Farr says Wales will win the Euros. Um, they might not, William, solely for the fact that they're not in it. But if they were in it, they'd have a show. Unfortunately, maybe the next one. Maybe the next one. I think Wales aren't in it, are they? Nah, no, they're not. Next one, next one. They were in the last one, but I don't think they made this one. Just like Ireland, Ireland didn't make it either. For the reason Ireland didn't make it is because they had the most incompetent manager in the history of sports for 3 years. So there you go. Not going to sit on the fence on that one. Incompetency City. Matt Van Bosch is that boo. Not a fetish, just a lifestyle. Welcome to the lifestyle of guitar collecting. Yeah, I like it, Matt. Well done. Oh man. T says came across a Gibson Custom SG 2022 used 3800, black gold hardware, ebony fretboard. Looks cool. Sounds cool. Kind of Tony Iommi ish. Obviously you'd need the crosses in the on the frets, but on the fretboard. But yeah, cool guitar, man. SG Customs are awesome. All SGs are awesome, but you know those are nice. Advo says to Matt Von Bosch, yes, indeed. I'm agreeing with the lifestyle comment too. Moniz says 3800 seems steep. Actually, I'm not sure how much an SG Custom is. I know you can get an SG Standard for less than 2,000. So, and depending on the actual model, I know Thomann have a great deal on a silver SG Standard at the minute. It's only like 1,500 for an exclusive Thomann finish. Apparently, looks really cool. What have we got? T says European prices. Yeah, Europe. We get screwed over here an awful lot. Scott says erotically charged? Question mark. Yeah, when Muddy talks to me, he gets erotically charged. That's what happened. Matt Van Bosch says, Dave, sorry, missed the start of the stream. What the new Epi missing? So Matt, it is missing. So according to the listing on Thomann, it had a Bigsby, no Bigsby, and mono / stereo outputs, but it just has the one output, which I believe makes it mono. So two things missing from it. Everything else spot on. To be honest, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm kind of, what's the right word? Um, smitten with it for sure. Anyways, that's it. Um, Buddy hates show. See, this is what I mean. He loves breaking my balls. What is so answering Matt Van Bosch's question of what is the new epi missing? He says a guitar player. Thanks, Muddy. I know that's a joke, but it hurt me real deep, and I'll never forgive you. Uh, okay, I'll forgive you. It's fine. Um, my knees hurt says renting anywhere is awful. Yeah, it's pretty. It wasn't too bad here. Like this house, we got a good deal on this house, and I can't complain about my landlord. For 4 years, he hasn't bothered us, hasn't raised the rent €1 in that time. So he's pretty cool, dude. He didn't remove a lot of furniture I asked him to remove, which he's supposed to, but it's fine. You know, again, really good deal. So I didn't really mind too much. He's a good dude. It's just it's come time, and now yeah, now the market's just awful. But my knees hurt says I'll be buying a van. I watched many YouTube video about people living in vans, and I have my feelings about it. Some of them look cool, but they spend as much money as a house on the inside of their van, and I'm like, it's kind of it's kind of crazy when you do that. But hey, it's a different lifestyle, and I wouldn't knock it. It looks, I mean, hey, the freedom it gives you is pretty cool. My Maneaser says, Let's Lynch the Landlords is a song by the Dead Kennedys. It is. Very cool band that are somewhat underrated, I think. But definitely, it's a cool song. Um, I know they do say the only way to get rich is to get loads of property and rent it out. So that's what a lot of people try to do. DMAX says, Hey Scott, I heard Newfoundland is getting some unusually hot temperatures lately. Um, it's good stuff. Good stuff for Scott and Bug Lips. Hopefully, you guys are keeping cool with beers and stuff. Al says Vox AC15 is good as stated by Psionic. Yeah, that's one that would be on my list. I don't know if I don't know if I need that much power, but we know an AC15 would be cool. Um, I just really like Vox, the aesthetic of them and everything. So we'll see. And Brian May plays one. He's pretty cool. And I can play his new Gibson signature guitar, whatever that ends up being, through a Vox AC15 maybe. It's definitely on the list. I'll definitely take that into consideration when it's coming to amps. I definitely will take a look at a number of Vox options for sure. Um, Scott Bogwood says, yes, on Thursday was breaking all kinds of records. Nice record breaking weeks. It wasn't any kind of record breaking here. I don't think it was kind of shitty for most of it. But apparently next week's going to be heat wave time. So it's good. We get our 1 week of summer. It's nice. DMAX says the Dead Kennedys are awesome. I concur, sir. Uh, Van Bosch says to Muddy, Bantersaurus Rex. Don't encourage him, Matt, please. Uh, yeah, he's definitely a he's definitely king of the ripping the piss out of Dave championships. So never mind the Euros, making fun of Dave, winding me up. He's the one that does it. My knees hurt says I'm playing through a Vox amp right now. Vox VR15. You've never heard of it. There you go. My knees hurt. Sounds cool. If you're playing through it, man, it's good enough for me. DMAX says I concur with Al Vox AC15. 2 votes. I mean, we're not voting for it right now, just in case, because I'll forget. But it's definitely going to be on the list for sure to look at. Nella says melanin deficient. Yeah. Funny story. I was in Asia with 4 or 5 of my friends. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, four of us. Four of us were there. 4 of us were there, and this is a different trip. There was another person there, and we were out at traffic lights, and we all put our arms in the middle, and like I looked see through. So yeah, compared to them, There was one Asian dude and two other white dudes, um, and the Asian dude was a lady. So, so we were all just laughing at me for the whole time, I myself included. Yeah, Irish people don't get enough sunshine. That's why that happens. Um, DMAX says, amp bottlers to into an F4F4 or just good speakers are solid home options. Plus, that new Katana is great. I'd recommend the 100 watt for the extra features on the panel. I mean, uh, I know what you're saying. Just 100 watts seems scary to me because it's a lot. But at the same time, spending a lot of time playing through this right now because it's great. The Mustang Micro, not sponsored or nothing, but it is a phenomenal little piece of kit, and everyone should have one for when you're traveling or totally working at your desk and not playing guitar when you should be working. Work from home stuff. In your home office with no distractions in your office. One of those is great for that. Formerly known as T says, always get a text or email prior to arriving. It happened first time it happened, but it shouldn't happen. Yeah, that's true. T. And which delivery company was it? DPD. It's always DPD who do that, isn't it? Jerks. um, Steve, is it? Hang on. Scott says, is it an Igo or a Gibson? I'm not sure what you're asking, Scott. Maybe it was for someone else. Steve Cassidy Guitar is here. Great to see you, Steve. Hope you're well, man. Hello, Dave and pals, he says. It's all great. Always great to see you, I should say, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you're well, man. DMAX says, I regret trading my HX Stamp. I'd still recommend them as a solid all-in-one unit for amp modeling and effects. Cool, DMAC. Yeah, I've never used one, so I don't know, but if it means that much to you, maybe we should all check them out. Good stuff. Ben Allmark says, howdy, Dave. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope you're doing well, Ben. Thanks so much for joining us. Always great to see you in the chat and having you with us. Madman Bosch says, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships of on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All the moments will be lost in time. Matt, just like hold on to those memories. They're special. Um, I think that's from something, but I'm losing my ability to pull it back. Muddy says sweet spot for Veritone is in the compartment in the case. I've told you many, many times they suck, but do you listen to me? No, no. Why would I listen to you? It's more fun to piss you off by doing the opposite of what you tell me. It's really funny, but it's all good. Um, Scott says, "Hey Dave, would you ever consider doing story videos, like how Line 6 came to be a secret Yamaha production program? I don't know the full story." Interesting, Scott. Interesting idea. I could, like once upon a time in Guitarland, this happened. I could do it like as an ASMR type story for everyone to go to sleep to. No, I'll tell you why I don't do a lot of stuff like that. It's because anytime I've deviated from guitar news, I get no views. So if I do videos about uh, Guns N' Roses, nobody watches it. If I do video about like music stores, nobody watches it. If I do video about anything, nobody watches it unless, honestly, unless it's about me bitching about Epiphone. Nobody watches it. So I tend to stick to what I get views for, as most YouTubers will. And I experimented a lot more in the early days, but I kind of got stuck in a groove. I could try something like that and see if it works. There's a lot more subscribers on the channel now than there was back when I was doing more experimental stuff. Um, so yeah, we could see if it works. I do enjoy doing that kind of investigative journalism, so to speak, um, about different stories like that. And like KDH does a really good job of doing those things, in particular. So me stepping on his toes a little bit, and he's a mammoth on YouTube as far as I'm concerned, the size of his channel. But um, yeah, like I could do stuff like that. If you guys want me to do stuff like that, I'll absolutely look into it. I know YouTube's difficult because I'm kind of at this cusp with YouTube where I could become really successful on YouTube in the next year, or I could just stay exactly where I am. Like I've been on about 20 away from 8,000 for about 6 months now. So just can't get those last 20 subscribers to get over the line. And that's fine. What's really tantalizing is that at 10,000, that's when your channel like becomes um, viable for the likes of sponsorships and brand deals and all those kind of things, which makes YouTube worth putting more time into. So until then, you just got to do your best and see what works. And maybe something like that would help the channel right now. It's a good idea, Scott. I'll look into it. I tell you what, um, over on our Facebook group, we can set up some things. And if you want to do this, Scott, feel free. Um, we can set up a poll of 3 guitar related stories that you'd like me to do story content on. And I can look into trying to make like a 10 or 15 minute video about like the history of something. Um, or like you say, like the line six thing or whatever. And we'll see. If I can come up with some good stories, I'll do it for sure. It's a good idea, Scott. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'll be interested to know what kind of things you guys would like me to look into for that. So if you got any ideas, let me know. You can even let me know in the comment section in this one because we've got just over half an hour to go, so we can talk about all kinds of things. Matt says, "How's the neck on your new guitar?" Interesting, great question, and I meant to mention this. It was listed as my favorite, the slim taper neck. I don't think it's a slim taper neck. I think it's more. I think it's chunkier. It's more like a 50s neck. Um, Feels great though. Feels great. So I think it's maybe somewhere in the middle, which is absolutely fine by me. Um, so yeah, I mean, having a preference for neck doesn't mean I hate all others. I mean, just before he says it, because I know he will, I have a preference for slim taper neck. I just don't mind other types of necks. It's fine. Um, but I definitely feel like this one's kind of halfway between a 50s and a slim taper 60 style. Um, but it feels really, really nice. I'll go into that more in video on Tuesdays. My plan is to make it on Tuesday because I have some time. Should have some time on Tuesday. And it gives me more time to just play around with the guitar and test out a few things and do more things with it. Um, so yeah, overall though, Matt, everything about it feels brilliant. It's got Gibson strings on it, which I think is a bit fun. It's not really the word, but it's good. I think they're 10 to 42, or yeah, I think they're or 10 to 46. I don't know, because they don't, of course, tell you because they're not that smart. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're tens, and feel fine. They will be replaced with Ernie balls, though. I might just throw regular slinkies on it, which I haven't done in a long time, but we'll see. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. Probably on Tuesday when I make a video, I'll let you guys know a lot more about the neck and the feel and everything like that. But it's so far so good. T says Spain are playing some nice football. Spain are playing some nice football. I just don't think they have it to go all the way. Their squad's, you know, they're going to rely an awful lot on the young lad from Barcelona. I don't think he's going to push them all the way through. Um, Matt says, "Wow, that is quite the spec change." Well, that's it. It's one of those things. Um, I was a little bit disappointed with it, but I also kind of expected it. I should mention when I ordered the guitar, the first time I saw a picture, they sent me a picture, very low res picture in the email confirming the order, and it was this exact guitar pretty much. So I was like, oh, if it has a stop tail, like, why are you saying it has Bigsby? But anyway, they've sent it now, and we're gonna wait and see what they say Monday, and that's why I want to wait until Monday, or sorry, Tuesday to make the video because I'll have heard from them and we'll tell you what the outcome of that is. They might be like, screw it, Dave, send it back if you don't want it, and we'll give you your money back. At which point I'll say it's fine, I'll keep it. I shouldn't have said that on live because that's what they're gonna do now. Scrub that part, take it out of the replay. Anyway, anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll send it back, but we'll see how it goes. We'll have a conversation about it, I'm sure. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. Advil says, "How to sell a guitar without dealing with customers?" Um, if I could tell you how to sell anything without dealing with customers, I would be a very wealthy man. Customers are the worst thing in the world. I can say specifically for my for my job. I can't say too much. I will be able to next week, and I'll tell you why next week. Um, but let me just tell you this: my job is a lot of learn tech support, and most tech support people are just googling what you ask them or putting it into the search engine on their website that you have access to. They're just putting in how to fix this or what is this problem. There's not an awful lot of specialist knowledge. They just know how to Google things better than you do or quicker than you do. They're not using special Google or fancy Google or anything. They're just Googling the problem and telling you how to solve it. When I worked with Apple, 9 times out of 10, that's how we found the answer to people's issues. And I worked in several departments of Apple, working with customers, the public, working with businesses, working with other teams in Apple. And most of the time, it was like, let's just Google this and find out what the problem is or what the solution to it is. So, yeah, if I could tell you, I would tell you. Customers, I mean, get someone else to do it. Consign it to a guitar store and get them to sell it on consignment for you. It's probably the only way. Money says Toman still has those specs listed on the black version. They do. They do. So they can't get out of it. It's still listed on their site as far as today. I bet you it changes on Monday when their after sales experts come back to me. But it's all good. I have screenshots because I'm a tech person. Anyways, after it says some players can play guitar with their feet, and that's a phenomenal feat to be able to do. It's great the way I have all these dad jokes, but I'm not a dad. Uh, anyways, Al says another good amp which I have is the Fender Blues Junior. Should be affordable. Used. I'd love to look at a Fender Blues Junior, yeah, or a Princeton maybe, um, as well as something else. Like if I go amp, I'll be going. I'll be going into the amps. I will be getting something that'll be like a long term amp. So no problem getting into more expensive ones as well. So maybe not super expensive, but I'll definitely be willing to put down a decent chunk on a good amp setup. So I'll definitely be looking into that, and I will for sure take your consideration, your recommendation into consideration. Moneyzert says, I think they made this Vox VR15 for 1 year, 10-inch speaker, one tube, a dirty channel. Sounds killer. Nice, man. Sounds killer. That's the most important thing. Like to hear that. Apu says, so Vox VR15 over everything. They pricey. Wow. Wow. I don't know how much they are, so I'll take your word for it. Buglips is here. Great to see you, Buglips. Hope you are enjoying the Newfoundland sunshine, which we've been talking about. It says 10 watts is scary for me. Yeah, it can be pretty scary. yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure. I mean, they all have volume knobs on them, so. But yeah, they got to be dimed as well, so it's a lot of fun. As long as you're not standing too close to the flipping thing. It's my own bugbear, you know. It's fine. Buglips for more of our Newfoundland drama says, "Hi, a big Bugfoot. I was gonna drop by today, but I'm avoiding your brother." Now we all gotta know why. Formerly known as T says 100 watt. You'd want to be moving to the country. I live in Wexford. There's loads of wide open spaces. Yeah, but also I don't care if I'm pissing off my neighbors. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Um, I don't really care. I just want the space as well. I don't like living in the town um, space. It's too urban. It's not a big city or anything. I just don't know, like all the people been around. It's better to live out in the countryside, in my opinion. Um, Muddy H2O with another super chat saving the channel from financial ruin, as he always does. Says Timu sponsored Chigsby and Stereo Out by Jack video incoming. No, it's not what's coming from him, but definitely some fun coming with those guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, can I talk about it yet? I don't know. I suppose I can. I don't think they watch my live streams. There is another sponsored video with Timu coming. This one's going to be very different, but I wanted to do something very particular. Um, and what they do is they give you a link and say you can have X amount of products free. And you can choose whatever you want. Click this link to order your stuff. And you think you have the entire website to buy stuff, but you don't. So the last time I actually wanted to buy a guitar and I couldn't, I was like, they don't have any guitars. But they do. They just weren't included in the stuff I was allowed to buy. And there was thousands of things I could buy, but again, the things I wanted for the next video I'm doing with them, I wasn't on my list for some reason. Thousands of things I could buy, but not the one thing I wanted most. So you'll see soon. I think I should have it next week or something. Video will be going out in July sometime. But they're pretty funny. They they wouldn't, and even when I asked them again, I was like, I want to do a specific video. The item's not there. They're like, no, you can't have it. It's like, okay. So I bought some interesting items, guitar related items, some not guitar related items, which I'll also maybe include in the video just for the crack. Um, but yeah, what I wanted to do was I thought it was a fun idea. I haven't seen many people try to do the same thing. But let me tell you, if anyone thinks that Timu is paying me thousands of euros for a video, they are not. They're not. But hey, they're sponsoring the video, and it'll go back into like the sponsorships I've done on the channel with Timu and with Summit Guitar or Distribution, the guy with the course for just music distribution. Apologies for forgetting off the top of my head. That went into buying this guitar. So both of them. So that'll happen again with any sponsorship money that comes in. It'll go towards stuff that'll end up making videos on the channel. But I hope you guys like what I'm going to do with what I'm going to do. If it works out, it'll be really funny. Anyways, if they don't freak out when they see it, they might freak out when they see it. Scott Bogwood says, I was helping our cousin Travis doing repairs on my house. I feel like there's a soap opera. It's like, you know those, what's that show? Housewives of Beverly Hills or something. There's like a Guitarists of Newfoundland show that MTV could produce, or TLC, isn't it? That's the one that does all the reality shows. Yeah, they could do guitarists or just the Bogfoots, and then Scott could be famous and fund all of the adventures on his own channel, which would be great. I would subscribe to whatever app I need to watch that, as long as there was lots of footage of the ducks. So just stick with that. Anyway, Boognip says, yeah, I was going to see if you could use a hand. I'm just going to... Matt Van Bosch says it's from Blade Runner. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Blade Runner in years, man. Years. I knew it was from something I should have referenced. It's been one of those weeks. Like if you mentioned a Star Wars reference right now, I'd probably be... I have no idea what that is. So it's been a crazy week. The last few weeks, actually, there's been stuff going on that I'm waiting to confirm something. I can't even talk about it right now. I'm waiting for something to happen that has been in the works for 2 months. It's not YouTube or guitar related, so I will tell you guys about it though. There should be finalization this week, but it's taken up all my time and energy. So I'm just like, honestly, head is scrambled a lot, but we're making our, doing our best. DMAX says, Chord Dave, Katana lets you scale the power from 100 watt to 50 watt to half watt. Plus, it has a channel volume and a master volume, so you can dial great tones at any volume. Yeah, listen, I've never actually had a Katana or played through a Katana, but almost everybody I watch on YouTube who plays guitar and sounds great is playing through a Katana. So, not everybody, but a lot of people. Okay, Marty Schwartz. But still, Marty's great. I love Marty. And I'd love to have Marty on the channel someday. Maybe someday I can get him on the Chord Dave podcast episodes. There's a lot of people. Like I have a list of people I'd love to interview on that. I did reach out to Gibson again. to ask Cesar to come on and to see, because they're Slash's record company now, if I could get in contact with him to do a like my dream interview. But they wrote back and were like, no. So, um, that again is another thing that might be, more doors will open around 10,000 subscribers. So we'll see. But anyway, just going off the bandwagon there, Marty is someone I really respect. He plays through a katana. So I'll look into the katana for sure when it comes time to buy that new cool amp, my forever amp, probably. Bubblip says maybe make faces into your GoPro and wind up your channel. Wind up on your channel. I mean, is that for Scott or for me? I don't know. I don't use a GoPro. Not none of my YouTube stuff. And my spicy channel maybe. I haven't got a spicy channel. I'm just kidding. Can AI play guitar? Well, AI makes music at Bow, so yeah, maybe. It's possible. I mean, some people like AI generated music because you can do stuff like make a song that sounds like AC/DC, and it does it. So, so yeah, it's possible that, well, AI doesn't play guitar, but it can make guitar sounds. I guess. Scott says, if anyone would like to leave a story suggestions for Dave to consider, here's the Facebook group. Indeed, if you're not on Facebook, just email me. The email address is in the bottom of the description of every video. Bear in mind, I get a lot of spam there. So if I'm slow to respond to you or I don't respond to you, it's because you came in on a spam heavy day. Some of my favorite spam includes I think somebody signed me up for this, and I think you're a comic genius, whoever did it. It's hair transplants. I get a lot of emails about hair transplants, and I get a lot of emails about male enhancement pills. I think we all get those though. I think every male gets them. So yeah, I get a lot of spam about that. And then of course the people being like, I need you to do a business deal and I'll give you $20 million. Like, all right, sir, whatever. I find ES style guitars are nicer to play if they have chunkier necks, says DMAC. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think that's valid. Buglip says, I want Dave to explain how magnets work because ICP was no help at all. You want me to you want me to do a story on how magnets work in pickups? I can do that. People will absolutely tear me apart, but I can do it. Not now. I'll have to do some research and everything, but I can do it. Absolutely. Scott Bogfoot says it could be like 60 minutes, probably closer to 15. Honestly, a 60-minute video won't do well on the channel. I know that straight off the bat. I know some channels do well with longer form content. Mine doesn't. Once I go over 10 minutes, that's it. You guys had enough of me. So there's a handful of you put up with me no matter what I put out. You watch 100% of everything, and I love you. There's also people who watch the first 2 minutes of everything. There's people who watch the first 30 seconds of everything and they shut off, and that's fine. It's one of those things though where I think I don't think right now a 60-minute video will do well on the channel. The podcast episodes are meant to be not so much videos, but things you can listen to when you're doing other stuff. Like you can listen to those when you're driving. And eventually, when I have maybe 5 or 6 of them, I'm going to just put them on podcast services as well, like Spotify and Apple Music and all that sort of stuff. Because that's fairly easy and free to do, I believe. So yeah, I'd like to just have a few of them done first and then put them out. Because I don't know how regular I'm going to be able to record them because I'm waiting for people to come back to me and say, yes, I can do them. Actually, here's something. Muddy H2O wants me to do a podcast episode with him. Would you like me to do a podcast episode with Muddy H2O? I also just understand this. It will be him driving me crazy for 40 minutes. I'm well aware. So let me know in the comments if you want to me to do that, and I'll pop them on the list right after Cesar. Matt Van Bosch says we need to get Dave to 10K. Gonna need some clickbait bullshit. Is the Hawk Tua girl free for a collab? Uh, I mean, that's if she reaches out, we'll have a discussion for sure. Uh, I can't say too much. I'll get in so much trouble. But yeah, we could do collabs with people, and maybe that'll work. Um, if anyone's watching and you want to do a collab, and you can get me to 10,000, reach out. I'll help you out. Be all good. No, I do. I do have a lot of things I hope will get us here. This video might rocket the channel because um, this guitar is probably one of the weirdest things that's ever happened. It's a guitar that would be popular if they brought it out because of its Back to the Future connections, and nobody knows about it. And the people who do know about it are like, I can't believe that they only made one or they didn't publicize this. I have a very strong feeling this is a model that's coming out later this year, and I've been sent it early because I was complaining about them not sending it to me when I ordered it. But we'll see what happens on that. But the video hopefully will do well for that. And sometimes that's all you need is one video through the roof, extra 2,000 subscribers. This time next week, you'd be like, all right, get your Manscaped shaving things, and your who else is? Your I can't say the name of that company. I will be able to next week. I can't say the name of other company. Anyone you see advertising with all the YouTubers, them. uh, oh, very nearly said it there. Can't because I work for them, so can't say it. Chord Dave doing man on the street interviews, says DMAC. That'd be fun. I could do something like that at NAM, maybe. Um, and bump into all of the YouTubers. The thing about that is I'm very shy. I'm not really. I'm just hate people. Um, Matt Van Bosch says she isn't wrong, by the way. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point. I concur with you, but Matt, I think you're on the money there. Joe Marauder says, "Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off, turning it on and off? It's a cliche. It's a joke, but it's so fucking true. Sometimes that is what it is. Um, or let's see, what's like sometimes. So in the company I work for, and I can't go into detail. I can't even hint at what it is right now. But there's this thing on our system, and people misunderstand what it's for, and they turn it on, and we literally just have to go turn that off. It's useless. Everyone has it turned on. Turn it off, and it fixes their problems. And we think we're geniuses. So there you go. That's the IT talk for today. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on. You'll be fine. Scott Bogman says, big news, subscribing to Chord Dave is now free. Subscribe now for your chance to chat here. Indeed, you might get your comment read out live on the internet. I mean, all you got to do for that is to turn up on a Saturday, because I do try and read all the comments. Joe Marauder says, hello, hola, amigos from over the pond. Great to see you, Joe. Thanks for joining us. Apvo says, is there good action on Chibsons? What I will say on that is, right, because I want to be honest about Chibsons, and I don't want anyone to think I'm a hypocrite when it comes to them. I don't want to promote them, but I also think there's a possibility you get a really good guitar. There really is. There's some channels, and they make their YouTube channels like they get really popular, really big, because they talk about nothing but Chibsons. Fair play to them. Best of luck to them. Hope they do really well. But some of the time they bullshit and they say those guitars are the greatest things in sliced bread. They're better than Gibson Custom Shop, and they cost $300, and that's not true. And that's misleading to people because you want to grow your YouTube channel, and I don't like it. And there's some people who they get in with the builders and they just get sent the good ones, and it does happen. And then they say that doesn't happen, but it does. And yeah, I feel like, listen, if you're buying a Gibson, a brand new Gibson, 9 out of 10, Perfect. Um, Maybe 8.5 out of 10. Perfect. And the other 1.5 have minor issues. And there's a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of them have send it back straight away issues. And I know that that's still a lot of guitars because they sell a lot of guitars. But if you buy a Gibson, honestly, 50-50, you have major issues with it. You might have a really good guitar. I have one that's really good. It still needs a little bit of TLC. And I've had two. I think I've had five altogether in like the last 15 years. I've had five altogether. One's pretty good. Two were absolutely fucking terrible. One was good, and the other one was basically firewood. So I would say my personal hit rate on them is like 25-30% have been acceptable, and then the others terrible. Uh, can you get good action? Yeah, you can. You probably no matter what, if you buy a Gibson, go into it with your eyes open. There's a very high percentage chance that what you get will not be good, and either way, even the good ones, you have to do a good bit of work on them to set them up to get them right. You probably have to replace almost all the hardware, if not all the hardware. Your electronics are probably going to be crap. They might sound okay initially, but they're not going to last. Um, yeah, and your pots and stuff are the lowest quality that they could get their hands on because they're the cheapest. Can you get good ones? Yes. Is it likely? Probably not. I would say like 55, 45 chance you'll get a bad one instead of a good one. But you can get good ones. That is possible. They're not custom shop Gibson level guitars, and they never will be. So, or Fender custom shop even, or PRS core models. They're not that good, and of course they're not. But there's a lot to be said in that space over the next year or so. There's interesting things happening in the Gibson market, and I will talk about those at some point. There's a lot. There's a lot to talk about though, and other channels are doing it really well. Anyways, I'll move on. Nella says, I have a Blues Junior 4, a Blackstar HT20 head and a Katana Gen 1 100-watt combo. I only play at home. I play the Katana the most, to be honest. I chuck a pedal in front of it and off I go. Awesome, man. Blues Junior 4 would be something I'd be definitely interested in checking out as well. So we got like Katanas, we got the Blues Junior. Yeah, definitely Vox AC15. Be looking out for those. Joe Marauder says Black Stars are great amps. That ISP knob is sweet. Yeah, I've heard I've got Magnetone because Slash is a signature guitarist now. Interestingly enough, I'm not too pushed with Marshall amps. Really, I've had the Marshall Code and it didn't live up to its expectations with me. So I'm like, it's fine. I'll try something different. This is probably the one brand I won't be considering is Marshall, but everything else is on the table, I think. D-Max says, I like Black Star amps. They have their detractors, but I think they sound great. Cool. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm willing to investigate myself when I do buy an amp. Probably be next year sometime. Because it won't be the first thing on my list when I move house. Maybe by Christmas. Who knows? Marcia says, I'm here. I don't think my last message posted. I have a different aid here. Have her a list of 20 items for the supermarket. She's been there 2 hours. Very complicated. Maybe she's talking to some. Maybe she's hitting on the people who work there. Give her a break, Marcia. But great to see you. Hope you're having a good week and that your aid figures it all out for you. Joe Marauder says ISP knob goes from Vox to Marshall. Only amp that will do that trick. Well, there you go. It's worth looking into. I don't know enough about pedals and I don't know enough about amps, so I'm going to lean on your guys' expertise on both of those things in the next 12 months. Maybe. We'll see. Marcia has said that there's only 23 likes. We've only 25 viewers right now. So yeah, it's probably not too bad. We have 25 likes. So not too bad, Marcia. We can forgive everything. It's been a slow night. I mean, I honestly didn't think we'd get this far. We're 10 minutes away from ending the show, and I thought I'd have nothing left to talk about after about half an hour because the chat was quite slow tonight, which is, I love you guys who have turned up, but I always fear that that's going to happen. I'm just going to run out of stuff to talk about and be like, oh no. So it's the summertime. People are out enjoying themselves, having beers and stuff, and just just enjoying their vibe. So we'll see. Maybe we might do a few 1 hour specials just to get us through the summertime. But the 90 minutes is it's working. We've got 8 minutes to go, 10 minutes or so. We'll be fine. Money says, Martian, some of us have been switched to the new YouTube layout. There is no like button. Muddy, is that your way of telling us you didn't hit the like button on the stream? What? All right, it's fine. I just put you lower. You're now below Mark Agnesi on the podcast list. Nella says the Black Series is great. It has a output switch attenuator. That's handy. Blues Junior sounds good, but it's tricky to dial in a good crunch sound at a low volume. It prefers to be cranked. Yeah, that's why I'm moving out to the country. Crank it. So there you go. Let me see. See, even Marsha doesn't buy. She's like, of course, money, of course. Um, Joe Marauder says Blues Juniors have no balls. Wow. All right. I'm no opinion. I have no experience, so I don't know. That's very interesting. Avalanche says, should I get a Vox VR15 or a Boss Katana? So there we go. We're helping others with amps too. Marcia says, glad I made it before you're all gone. Replays just aren't the same, but I always do watch what I missed. I'm glad to have you with us as always, Marcia. Yeah, replays are not my thing either. I do watch the streams again just to see how stupid I sound. Sometimes a lot. So, let's just be honest. Money says, Marsha, not all is lost. David does have the guitar for the new giveaway on screen. Joe Marauder says, he's giving that guitar away. No, Joe, I apologize. Muddy is a troublemaker and is a jerk. This is my newest pride and joy. I will not be giving it away. Um, it is here because I've been talking about it for I think 3 months. I don't know if I've actually mentioned it for those 3 months, but I have been back and forth about it for 3 months. So it's here to show that it's actually a real thing. It exists, and it's pretty. No giveaways, no contests, nothing like that right now. We'll see. If we get to 10,000, I'll give away a pretty cool guitar. So yeah, if that happens this year, there will be a really cool giveaway. Because it would be a pretty cool milestone to hit. Anyways, Marcia says he is now. He is not. Hapto says thanks, Money, for sponsoring this channel. Uh, yes, I appreciate that, Money. I really do. It's one of the great things about you. Joe Marauder says that's an awfully nice guitar. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, it is. It's my pride and joy, really. I mean, I gotta say, it's going to get a lot of playtime the next few weeks, in particular. Um, but yeah, Nella says Chibson's blow, and I hope that says AI blows and not Al blows, because Al doesn't. Al's cool. AI, I work in tech. It's so funny to see how people are trying to use it. Somebody recently came to our company and said, AI, not AI, Chat GPT told me that this is possible. I want to do it. It's like, I don't care what ChatGPT told you, it's not possible. So they were adamant that ChatGPT said it, so it's true. So there's already people out there living their life based on what ChatGPT of all things tells them. That's a scary idea. So yeah. Marcia says, and then he's giving me the DG335 he's owed me for months. Muddy as my witness. Muddy said he was gonna. I've never said anything about giving away a DG335. Muddy, on the other hand, he's desperate to give one away. So you can talk to him. Uh, Nella says, don't buy chips and get a used Epi and call it a day. I genuinely think that's a better, safer option. Yeah, I feel like there is an awful lot of common sense in that statement. Don't buy Chipsons. I don't sponsor. I don't support buying them. I don't endorse them. I do not think you should buy them. And if you see me with them or I talk about the ones that I've bought, it's purely from a curiosity standpoint. And I know when I'm buying them, like actually the last few I bought, it's like I'm buying this to make a video on the channel. I'm buying this to try and get more views. And that's honestly, as a YouTuber, sometimes you got to do stuff like that because you get more views for those things. Um, I definitely, categorically, I would never recommend anyone buys a Gibson. It's too much of a shit show, and it's too much of a risk. You can spend three, four, $500 and get crap. I saw one on a group yesterday, and the first fret had been cut. What I mean by that is the fretboard had been cut in half. I just like squished up, and yeah, like the first fret inlay was which was mother of pearl, had been cut in half. I was like, and it was really badly done. It was like they cut it with a rusty spoon or something, and it was just not good. And this is like somebody had paid for a custom Gibson guitar. It's awful. Anyways, don't buy them. I'm not telling you to buy one. Because I own one is not reason to buy one. I do not endorse them. And Nella is 100% right. Buy a used Epiphone. You definitely, you know what you're buying with that at least. Um, Abdo says, can one marry a guitar? Yeah, probably. I saw somebody, so a few of my friends and I, we send jokes to each other, joke videos and stuff like that all day long. And as most people, I think, probably do, but one friend in particular sends me these crazy relationship videos. And one of them this week was about a lady who was marrying her duvet. And I think if you can marry a duvet, you can marry a guitar. Just don't cheat on your guitar if you marry it. So, Manisar says, drinking Jameson's with cola. Always try to keep it Irish on Saturdays. Nice, sir. Nice. Jameson's it's a good. I think Jameson, at least here, they're promoting Jameson and ginger ale as the go-to mixer. A lot of people do throw cola in it though, but if you try it out with ginger, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I like it. Manisar says, magnets. How the fuck do they work? Aliens. That's how. Um, Scott says the video with Mike was awesome. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, it's good to know that my true supporters enjoyed that one. And I'm saying that because Muddy told me it was shit. um, Nala says Epi did an ES345 a few years ago. They did, and they had more of a. It was a pretty cool guitar, but they did have one like a more like a Sheraton style headstock. I don't know what that headstock is called or if there's a name on that one, but they did kind of like the bigger loopy kind of thing rather than the old because it was before it was in the mid teens I think. It was before the buy over and the Kalamazoo headstock coming back. Um, but yeah, indeed. Ella says Epiphone LTD ES345 semi-hollow electric guitar features 6-position rotary veritone notch filter, slim taper, 60s D profile neck, Epiphone lock tone, tunematic bridge, mother of pearl parallelogram, fingerboard, mother of pearl inlays, pineapple headstock. I call that the crown headstock inlay, but yeah, you could call it pineapple as well. Gold Bigsby vibrato tailpiece, mono and stereo outputs, Epiphone limited lifetime warranty. Is that from the old one that they did a few years ago? No, because the one, I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. That is what they put out not long ago. And I say not long ago, it's probably a good 8 years, I think, since they put it out. Maybe less, but it's a good one. It was in the late teens, I think, maybe mid to late teens. Um, it was definitely before I actually even considered Epiphone would make one, so I missed it. It might have been 2018, 2019. I can't remember right now, but yeah, it was definitely a very cool one. Atvo, where does one get their sense of humor from? We see the philosophy questions. I'm not sure, but I would say the sense of humor comes from the intelligence. The funnier you are, the more intelligent you are, and vice versa. So I don't know if that helps answer that question for you. Muddy says that one did come with a Bigsby. It did, yes, indeed. Mine doesn't. I honestly, I don't mind that it has no Bigsby. I would just prefer it was like they advertised it. That's me. But also, I'm also like a stock guitar guy. Like I don't usually make changes to pickups and stuff like that. Like I want it the way it was out of the factory all the time with everything. So, anyways, when Geek Lord swears, I bet he says stuff like "mother of pearl." Scott, that is comment of the week. I love that, man. Yes, he definitely does. Um, Actually, I like the dude. Just in case anyone thinks I don't like that dude, I do. I think he's out there doing some cool. He's doing a cool job. I mean, I might not be his biggest fan in terms of the content he puts out, but like I'd swap places with him in a heartbeat because he gets to buy a lot of cool guitars and hang out with them. I know. Don't forget, you can pay 5 grand and go and visit Trogley and see all of his guitars. If anyone wants to do that or sponsor me to do it, let me know. Um, Nella says, yep. And mono and stereo outputs. Scott always wanted stereo ES. Yeah, it was one of those things I was like, this is going to be a cool guitar. And it is cool. Just those extra features that aren't there. I wonder why the listing had that. They probably just replicated the old listing, let's be honest. Benny says, Dave, you should do some shorts. Use some short podcast and live stream segments. It's supposed to help with the algorithm. And it's easier for new viewers. Where's that gone? To commit than to a full live stream. Yeah, you're 100% right, Benny. I should do it. I should do those. And I should engage on Instagram and all those kind of things. I'll be honest with you. I'm 42 years old. I don't like those short videos. So, and even making them, I always feel like I'm doing it wrong, or the kids are going to be like, you're an idiot, man. Just get back in your box and do your long form content. You were right. I should do it. And occasionally I'm like, I'm going to try. And then I don't. So, anyways, we will have, I will be trying a lot more in coming months. I have some interesting updates hopefully coming soon, which should mean a lot more content and a lot more possibilities to try things. So that's why, like, you guys come up with ideas, feel free to send them my way. I'm absolutely open to suggestions. Anything you want me to see, let's see if I can do videos about stories like Scott mentioned, or ideas for different types of videos and stuff. Send them my way. Absolutely, I will consider everything. And if I can make it, and I'm trying to get back my mojo for making YouTube videos. Yes, Muddy, I said mojo. And we will try, and I'm going to try and ramp up things over the next few months, because it has been tough for the last few months to get motivated to do it and stuff as much. I'm sure you've seen that. So, so yeah, we'll see more and more, and having cool guitars like this arrive does help. So we'll see how it goes. Now that says I made the mistake of buying a Yamaha SG replica, supposed to be unbranded, yet had Yamaha on the headstock. Is a POS, and had to change the tuner straight away. The finish is dog doo doo. Dog doo doo is like my least favorite finish. Yeah, I a lot of Gibsons have terrible finishes, and they've started doing nitro finishes, and they're awful. So lots and lots to talk about in the coming months, and I will get into it at some point. I have a lot of research to do on certain things. I'm trying to find out as much as I can. Instead of buying 5 Gibsons, you can buy a Gibson kit and make your own. You could probably buy shares in Gibson, or I mean, you can't, but like you could offer to make them, be like, hey, I got $1,000. Can I buy some shares? Scott says, Dave, ever hear of Chinese guitar hardware being made from metal so soft they distort with string tension, like a lead tailpiece would? Yeah, yeah, I have. I think, like, honestly, I'm not promoting things or trying to brush things away, but I think in the earlier days of Gibsons, like 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot more of that than there is now. Now they're just using cheaper parts, but still, for a lot of, I mean, if you're buying the super cheap, like the $150 ones, you're getting crap. Like, just, there's no question there. There's not like I might get a good one. You're not going to. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something that has happened. They tend to have all the QC issues that guitars can have in some way or another. Scott Bogfoot says, Dave, can you interview Mark Agnesi's jacket after all, after scratching some of the most incredible guitars ever made? If I can, sir, I will. I'll send a request to Gibson. Larry DeFox says, how do I enter the giveaway? You just write to Muddy H2O and he will purchase you anything that you want. That's the giveaway. And we're going to wrap it up here now in a minute. I think we're very close to the end. Scott says, hey, Larry, cheers. You got to get 2022 people to subscribe to 3 Chord Dave. 2022. Yeah, that's how many we are away from 10,000, which would be amazing to do it. Muddy H2O, troublemaker or truth teller? Honestly, it's a little of both. Mostly troublemaker, but a little bit truth teller as well. Um, Muddy says 4 days later, and I still don't know if I should buy a new or used guitar. Uh, see, he's just giving me shit because that's what was on the thumbnail of the guitar. Buy whatever you want, sir. You're a grown up. You can do that. It's fine. Um, Thoughts were there to help you make that decision. I always thought the crown was a thistle. It can be a thistle as well. I call it the crown. Apparently, they call it the pineapple. It doesn't look like a pineapple. I don't know. I'll have to ask Trogley what he thinks it is. They probably used the old specs when they put up the ad for the new S345. The old cut and paste there. Yeah, possibly. Honestly, if it was listed as this, I would have bought it anyway. I think so. Um, Scott Bogford says, "Are you naming it Lorraine?" No, no. My dad's name was not Lorraine, so it'll be named after my dad. But that's an interesting question. I have no idea why you're asking me that. Muddy says, Nella, I thought of that too, but the old ones didn't have a lateral fretboard. That's a good point. They didn't have a lateral fretboard. Yeah, this one does. DMAX says, I heard doing shorts while wearing shorts helps the algorithm. That's very likely. And Agnesi's Jacket should have its own YouTube channel. Mark Agnesi's Jacket. There you are, Mark, if you're watching. Or Cesar, if you're watching. That's what you need to do. Don't let the kids intimidate you, Dave, says Benny. Thanks, Benny. I appreciate that. I try my best, but I'm an old man with a weird long beard now, so it's just what happens. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the chat. We got to 11:38, and honestly, at the start of the stream, I thought we were going to be finished at about I don't know what I thought, like 10:30. So we made it a lot longer than I thought it was. It was a good chat with you guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for all your ideas about amps and things, and comments on this beauty of a guitar, which I'm very much smitten with. I think it's a cracker, and yeah, we should be making some lovely videos together. No, you won't see them. You'll just see the terrible ones that I put out next week, but it'll be fun. But yeah, thank you so much for your chats, guys. It's been super cool. We will talk again very shortly. My name is Chord Dave, and I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, take care.